Hey everyone. So before I get onto the movie topic, I want to talk a little bit about voice lessons because they were saved. People apparently do want them, but it's kind of cluttering up the video a lot. So I'm gonna have to split it. 2 videos a week. I'm gonna be doing voice lessons, like 3 to 4 minutes of voice lessons on every Wednesday. Um, and basically, it's just gonna consist of an observation or like a definition for a word in the voice lesson and everything like that. And then it'll be like me practicing. And yeah, so there you go. Look forward to it. It'll be every Wednesday, and we'll probably start this Wednesday. Um, Moving on to the actual thing, I kind of dug myself into a philosophical hole with last week's question. What does your body tell you about you? And I kind of answered this in a systematic sense because your brain has to take in a lot of information that the body tells you. Because the first thing the body is going to tell you is about your environment through tactile senses or just any sensory detail, just through sight, hearing, smell, taste, and feel. And that's a lot of information your brain has to take in. So it has to limit things and it has to come up with a method of analyzing it and what it does with that information. So came up with this emotion thing, basically telling you how to react to the information you've been given. And brain can't do it all. So basically, I like to use the idea of anger shows up on the monitor way back here. Like, you're angry, but you don't know what type of anger it is. Is it infuriating or frustrating? Your body can tell you, because if it's frustrating, you get that dead, annoyed, don't want to do this anymore type of reluctantness. And then if you're infuriated, your body will start to shake. And then taking in that information, your brain can tell that this information is infuriating to you or it's just frustrating. And I think that's a really interesting thing for the body to tell you. It specifies your emotions. And I'm looking very forward to analyzing how this works with me, paying more attention to my body. And I think it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks just to observe it. Either way, that's it. Moving on to the actual topic. This is a hard topic. I don't want to lecture anyone or anything. I've been kind of sort of putting it off. But I wanted to talk about self-medding. Self-medding is basically buying your hormones online and taking your hormone online, doing your own regimen, and like the only actual contact you get with medical service is blood tests, which is a problem. I don't want to beat up anyone who's doing it because I can't stop you from self-medding, and I can't stop you from taking it as a moral compass to self-med. So this is just strictly my opinions on the subject, and I will urge you toward the end of the video on something. But otherwise, my opinion on self-medding: doctors and pharmacists have to have at least 4 to 8 years of intensive college classes with a degree before they can get a full hang on what you are trying to do. The self-medder is trying to do immediately. It takes research, it takes practice, and that's 4 years worth of information that the self-medder won't know. And 4 years is a lot of room for the self-medder to find something that may either increase their regimen and make it work so much better, or give them a liver failure. To be honest, like, there's so much information out there, and that's why meeting a doctor is probably the best idea. So that's why I don't prefer to self-med. Now, I want to confirm that there is a vast difference between self-medding and alternative medication source. Self-medding, already explained, like, only contact you get with the doctor is blood tests. That's it. Alternative medication source is going to the doctor, getting that prescription, and instead of going to your neighborhood Walgreens to pay $100 for it, you order it online from either in-house or Four Corners or any of those places for $60. You just saved $40. How is this bad? Because you have the regimen and you know what you need to get, so you get it, and it's fantastic. It works. So I am totally behind alternative medication source. Self-medding, on the other hand, no. Self-medding is dangerous, and if you are self-medding, I implore you two things. One, research. Research a lot. Even if you know what your estrogen does, even if you know all of that, continue researching. Make it a constant thing, because in my experience, I kind of discovered that about a year ago. Until about a year ago, science didn't actually know that estrogen, the actual hormone, produced breast cancer. Pretty big to know, especially for transsexuals, because that means that as a man, you can get breast cancer. And the breast cancer in and of itself, we originally thought that it was just boob growth. No, the actual hormone does it. And that's really serious information. And for those who have been self-medding since a year ago, like past a year ago, if they haven't done any further research on it, they probably don't know that. That's a really important thing to know. Well, they probably know that because that's big, but either way, research constantly. So that's the first thing I want to stress to you. And the second thing is, if you are self-medding, go to a free clinic and tell a doctor. No joke. Like, people are just like, I don't need a doctor or anything. And it's like, yeah, you kind of do. Even if they don't know what they're talking about, they can still have general concerns for you because they have been through that 4 to 8 years and they know generic information, obviously, even if it's not specific on hormones. And tell your therapist if you're getting it from them, because they're not going to stop you from self-medding. They won't, because it's legal, and even if they don't like it, they can't really stop you from doing it. So instead, what the reaction is going to be, instead of really being mad at you or anything, they might harbor some feelings, but instead of being mad at you, they'll help you, because they would rather see you going along in a smart manner in your transition as opposed to ending up with liver failure or a blood problem. Honestly, like, they're going to help, so tell them. Either way, that's my opinion. That's what I think self-medders should do. And, excuse me, it's a pretty big deal, but that's pretty much it. Moving on, the question for today is actually more along the lines of the workplace. I didn't get that job that I was hoping for last week, but I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to procure one. I'm still looking to go full-time, and that's what this question is. How are you going to handle, how did you handle, or how are you handling the workplace in your transition, in the middle of the transition? How do you think they would treat you if you did come out? How are they treating you? How did they treat you? Very important information for all walks of people along the transgender transition line. And it's a very important conversation. So I implore you, post your comments. I totally love videos, like response videos. So I encourage you to do that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have anything you want to say on the actual self-medding thing, by all means, post it, and look forward to the voice lessons. And thank you guys, and love you. Bye.